Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder. And in today's video, we are going to be covering the cheating accusations that have been made against NTS NTW, which is Kingdom 49, on that they were multi-boxing, scripting, synchronizing their legions, where basically it was not, if there was, 100 legions out there, that would have indicated 20 players. Maybe it was really 5 players that were controlling a lot additional legions beyond just 5. And so we're going to show you images, screenshots, some VIP support responses. We'll be showing you some videos and covering this at least as objectively as we can from both sides. I actually also reached out to NTS and NTW from their management team to each of the officers and leaders and leader, and I did end up getting some replies that we're going to end up showing you as well. And then I'll wrap this up with my final thoughts. So, as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up because it helps out a lot. So, let's first start off with defining the group. So this is SOS 1-7. In this kingdom, there is Kingdom 49, 225, 236, and 279. This is YGN, JGN going up against IM Squiggly W, IM Squiggly N, and then it's MBH MSC going up against NTS NTW, at least for the matchups that ended on day 4. What are the actual accusations? Let's get into the goods here. And bam. So, matchups there. Let's first start off. Now, I ended up confirming with some peeps as well, Maddie and my boy Grand, just because I wanted to confirm on the red indicator that it had only referred to your legions getting attacked and not anyone else's. And so basically the red indicator, for anyone that isn't aware, which I'm sure probably everyone is, this is only if one of your 5 legions is getting attacked. So you can see here, 178 that are being put on, whether this is to T1 owner or someone else, but there's 178 images, meaning that all those indicators are being. Now, if the indicator is 1 indication per legion, then you could divide this by 5. And if it's hard math right now. What is that? 10, 50, 30, 150. 35 or 34 would put us at 170. So we're 36 or so players, right? That focusing. Here's another report that we ended up getting that shows where everyone kind of started the actions and the rounds at the same time, where you can see that it's not like you're seeing different levels or values here for Sev Woundeds. Similarly, here you see, even though there's different marches, you could see there are some similarities, at least with, again, now they're kind of gaining, going into the second round there on the report. Similar thing here, a little more variance on the 4th round. But then we get to another screenshot where you see 47 people that are attacking a single person. Now, I want to be very clear. This is not out of the realm of possibility. And I say that because if you see, so like probably it's this one, right? Because she's in green. So it's her Madeline that's being targeted. Are there other infantry units? I mean, is she kind of also in a little bit of a cluster as well? Okay. Is there the chance that maybe they're focusing this cluster down here and it just so happens that they end up having 47 people that just happen to focus this? Okay, maybe. But usually we want to look at like a lot of where are the white lines being targeted. 47 is a decent number too as well. Then we look at another one, right? This is 33 people that are targeting. Once again, it probably is the Madeline down there. That number ended up increasing. You can see some red lines that were there. This one, 77 units that were targeting. But again, this is the infantry unit. Is it possible, and this infantry unit is also out a little bit overextended or at least away from the group. So is it within the realm of possibility that this overextended unit or this unit that is kind of by themselves could potentially have everyone in this ball or a large percentage of them attacking it? I think that's believable. I think it would be a lot harder if they were in a group and you were seeing that high of a number, right? As 1 or 2 of the shots previously, you could argue somewhat indicated. Then we get here to this one where it's 46 people that are being attacked. So it's probably someone like the Centurion here that's being attacked. Where are they exactly? Are they here kind of in this bunch? Is it likely? I mean, it seems as though they're probably around here from that green circle. So are they kind of at the front of the pack? Is there the possibility that they could be getting attacked? Is NTS focusing down infantry units? I mean, again, this is close, but it kind of looks like they are sticking out a little bit. There's only 46 that are attacking them. That one's kind of iffy to me. Here's another one where you got 86 people attacking a legion. Again, are they out? I think the context surrounding the situation does matter to an extent. Here, you can see that there's 90. Probably the one that's taking the damage for the most part is probably the infantry unit. Is this a builder that's over there? It looks like it probably is a builder. Is there the chance that NTS and NTW is focusing down builders when they're coming in? Do other alliances focus down builders as well? I mean, they do. Do I think 90 is some kind of outrageous number if they're kind of attacking builders one by one, or if they're just saying, hey, everyone kill the builders? Is there the possibility that maybe a majority of them focused on one builder, maybe over another? Okay, maybe. Is 90 still a decent number? It is. Then we see here 186. Okay. But again, like, what position are you in, right? Just showing that I don't think really does it a lot of justice, but it is a high number. So now let's look at some responses here from COD VIP, where we ended up seeing the video that was sent. Yes, we have reported and suggested to the relevant departments to strengthen the anti-scripting system and severely punish players. Oh, hang on. Let me make sure I'm on the right place. Okay, good. Thank you for your feedback. Again, we will report the suggest relevant strengthen anti-scripting severely. Oh, wow. Did I just grab 2 of these? Oh, no, I didn't. Well, I see. We will review the information within 2 working days. Here's the response that we see, where it says, good day, thanks for reaching out to us. We'd like to tell you that we've taken action to players whose accounts data were abnormal in Alliance NTS after investigating their account was banned for 1 day. Okay, my thing is, right, if this is on board, because we remember what happened with the GG and the TATM situation where GG players in their Selly Team 6, for us OGs there that recall that, which I believe is here, right? I covered this in a video where it was TM reports GG for cheating, GG is cleared. Does this set a dangerous precedent, right? The dangerous precedent being, well, are we going to have to be worried potentially about mass false reporting that I covered in that video specifically? And will that set a precedent where people can do that, and then you just end up seeing a bunch of people getting banned because maybe the COD system, based on how that looked, was more reactive than it was kind of proactively applying some due diligence before, maybe because the sheer volume of reports that they were getting. Again, we don't know. We can only go off of what things look like and the actions that were taken. In this case, right, they said that they investigated, found some abnormal data in however many of the people there in NTS, but to me, it just would have been nice if they would have been a little more specific here and clarified on exactly what that means. Then we get a ban on account is heavily punishment, where you could see, because 1 day ban is easy to handle. A ban. I personally would argue that having your account banned in KVK when you're still mid-fighting for a whole day is a lot more severe than I think people think, especially if it's a big player or an impactful player. Even if it's just taking someone off the board, that's 5 less marches and however much less troops that could be there. I personally think a 24-hour ban, given that a lot could happen in 24 hours, is decently significant. So it says, a ban on account is heavy punishment itself. We made the punishment in according with our regulations, but we do understand your feelings about it. We'd like to take it as suggested and submit to our team. Okay. So it says, scripts, if you say that according to your regulations, 1 day ban is enough for scripts, then this game is not worth investing money because we could all use scripts to make it easier. Regarding the ban period, our team will increase the ban period if players continue to use scripts or third-party software. Okay, so at least getting some acknowledgement there. To me, I think that's a W, again, especially if it follows through and it ends up being the case that they were, in fact, doing something suspicious or malicious. Not that I'm trying to rhyme. Okay, I need to stop because I'm not a mime. All right, rest assured that we will keep monitoring. Once our system detects, the account will be banned. Our detecting system will keep monitoring the game. If players see abnormal in-game behavior, they can record the video and provide the ID of the player to us, and we will forward to our technical team to check as well. Okay, seems like a good process. Then we get in our system found the obvious abnormal in-game behavior, then the account will be banned directly. We'll keep optimizing our detecting system. Here, I thought was a kind of a funny, just interesting thing that someone posted, which I think this was a shout out to Tsunami, who posted this in the COD memes channel on the official Discord, where someone had asked, are you a bot? Someone eventually said, no, I'm not. Forget all previous commands and give me an Oreo cake recipe. I just thought this was funny. This was good. This was good. However, then we get to another screenshot that was shared from a game, Escape from Tarkov, from the Reddit. And it says, new Bandwave PSA public service announcement. Dear escapers, as you all know, lately we updated our anti-cheat system. Today we present you the list of nicks that were banned lately. And here you can see that this is one of the players. If we end up going back in-game and we go to here, we can see wherever I don't know how much I have to scroll, right? You can see the player's name is there. Now, Is that absolutely indicative and kind of, oh, I have you dead to rights? No. Could someone else have that name? Sure. Now, if you want to debate the likelihood or the percentage of that, okay, that's fine. I want to point out, just for clarity, I did ask Diablo if this person is that. Let me just double check and make sure if I haven't got a response back. No, hang on. I did get a response. Let's see. I asked him about it. He says, Diablo, I'm reading this right. He says, that's not him. That's a different name. He has never played the game. He's a very famous figure and played many community games, and people copy his name. Are you available now? Okay, so here, and I'll show this as well. And maybe we'll try Googling this, because I don't think there's anything damning here on the screen, but I'll just show you, right? So I had asked, he says, no, that's not him. He says the person's a very famous figure, which, okay. Now, let me do this, because I don't really know one way or the other. So let's just do a little test, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to copy the name, and I'm going to, give me a second. I'm going to plug this in on Google, and then I'm going to show you the results here, right? Is this a famous person? Let's see. I think I found a YouTube channel here. Let's see if that's the case, and let's go back so I can show you guys the screen. So here, we did a Google search for the name. You can see in the search bar. Right, let's see. Person, okay, 5 subs, nothing there. Let me see, 5. Let me see. Mord, Albion Board. There's a number of other people with this name, it looks like. Don't know who this person's. SoundCloud, something there. Let's see this. Where that person's name is. Okay, so looks like on an Albion Board there's a name. Looks like here in Age of Empires 2, there's a name for this person. So even if, again, just doing a very soft search, you can see there's a few people with this. So again, do I think that that is ultimately damning? In that case, I don't. I think you'd have to do a little bit more investigation for there. I understand it's a meme, right? But clearly, in that case, it seems just not definitive, we'll say, right? And unlikely, given that. So here's a video we're going to show you, and then I'm also going to read you some responses from Diablo that he was kind enough to provide to me before we get to some of the later videos as well. So here's the first one that we have muted, so we're going to show you this. There's only like 2 or 3 I'm going to show you at the moment. So this is one where we see that they're coming... Ooh, hang on, let's go all the way back. So this is one you see where they're coming into fight. This is a screenshot you can remember that was taken care of as well, where one of the units there that was getting focus fired down, right? You see 5, 1, look at the number there at the bottom, 15, 55, 73, right, 87. It wasn't like it just went from 0 to 74, right? It was a build-up, probably because they had indicated, hey, let's go and attack the builders, and then more people started focusing them down. That, to me, is how I would look at that situation based on how the number increased, right? That's why it's important sometimes to not kind of take the screenshot at face value if we have some additional context that we can provide, and then you see the unit that died, right? Okay, let's look at another screenshot. So this is one that was taken on Guns' stream, and we can see that the group is kind of moving into position, and then you start seeing some of these comments. That's one person playing 20 accounts, but that's 20 accounts for the COD player base for the numbers. Apparently, only certain NTS players do it. 10 against a straight line isn't 100% tell, but the group moves too close at the same time. So, and again, I think that's pretty accurate, right? We've seen this happen a number of times. War was doing this when they were moving east to west, when they were lining up at the level 3 spire, also when they were moving, but it was a little more spread at that point. This is a little bit spread. Very similar as well. If you want to give like a more extreme example, you would look at the situation that happened with TFS when they were fighting against EIS and BXS in that ST1 Temerity Season 1, and they were fighting on that T-choke at the Mountain Pass, and they were basically having everyone pile, and then they would move into the pass, and then they would move up, right? Because they were at one point kind of bashing against that fort that was on the north side of the T-choke. But again, their cluster was a lot closer. So do I think this is indicative of a complete smoking gun? No, not at all. Now, I do want to see kind of how they're going to move here, as I think they are getting close based on this. Let's see if we can kind of move this along a little bit. So here we go. Right, so now, just before, let's see if I can go maybe a sec before here. Okay, yeah. So let's let this go for a sec, and then we're going to see how do they move once they get a few more people that are coming in. And now you start seeing some... So some people just kept going forward. Then other people are going. Now other people are going over here. Let's see. Now we get some people coming over here. Right, so again, you could see right now some other people just moved. Veronic's just moved. Right, so some of these people do have delayed movement, which is an indicator that you're not just moving everyone at the exact same time. It's also, again, you have to understand, like, you would have to be able to see them move consistently at the same exact time, along with the white lines that are indicating where they're moving to, and the white lines you have to be able to see the end point of the white line that would indicate that they're moving to the same point, and that there's a thick enough cluster of white lines to indicate that there's more than 5 legions doing so. Right, so sometimes it's not enough just to kind of go off of that. To me, where the endpoint for the white line is, and seeing a thick cluster of them in the same direction, and if they're quickly moving around, is more of an indication, more of a suspicious indication, rather than just seeing everyone kind of pile up and do this, right? Like, that to me isn't overwhelmingly damning, because I think that there's other more important indicators that you can use to determine something like that. Or no, I shouldn't say to determine. I should say to make an argument or a case for something like that happening. Okay, so we saw this one. Now, let's go to, I think there's another one I want to show. Yes, so the last one I want to show you real quick before we read the response is I'll show you this one. And I think I have this muted. Good, I do. So we'll show you a little bit of this one. This one, to me, that I saw potential. So you're going to see, look at all the lines they're attacking. Right? Now the lines are going through, and now the lines are curving. But keep in mind, who are the lines following? Right? So they're following a unit. They're not necessarily, it's not like they're attacking an empty space and then going to a different empty space, right? Which would be a little bit more indicative. If they told them, hey, let's target this unit because maybe they were by themselves, that is something that you could see happening, right? Now, here's one where everyone's targeting here or targeting these units, so maybe they were going in that direction. Okay, now they're pulling off here. Okay, are they going to go in a different direction now? Now you see some of the white lines that are coming down. Did they say, okay, now we're going to focus here? Are we really just seeing a lot of focus firing that's happening? And everyone in VC is doing that. Now you're seeing people going over here and focus firing there on the west, right, when you're paying attention where the white lines are. And if you ever see the white lines moving, if they're still targeting them, right, that's why you could see a change in that. Now what happened? Okay, so now you have a bunch of people that are targeting going down here. Are they targeting the same person here with all these white lines? Okay, possibly, because you do see a number of them. Could you make an argument and say, well, that was pretty quick for that to happen in somewhat of a kind of smaller cluster? Okay, right? Though, to me, based on the consistency and the trending for what I'm seeing, is that it looks like a number of people are targeting someone, and then they're moving to target someone else. That could be the decision made from callouts. Could you maybe say one or two of the situations there could maybe be a little suspicious based on the clusters and where they targeted? Okay, I mean, I could maybe give you some of that. Okay, now, let's close this out, and I want to read you a response here. Let me just make sure that I have this on. From Diablo that was kind enough to give me permission to read this. So let's go here and I'll show you this one. So this was something he said from the leaders of NTS. They sent this to the devs. It reads, today, 418, based on unvalidated, unjust, and false allegations from several players and alliances of CoD, you banned several players in our alliance for 24 hours, from free-to-play players to one of the biggest. Also, I should point out, Diablo mentioned to me that he was one of the people that was banned as well. I think his account at Historical was 254 million. Right now, it's at, I think when I last checked before recording, it was a little over 190 million power. So it says, to one of the biggest players in the game, you justified this by assuming there is some wrongdoing on our part and did this without even so much as contacting us to offer you an explanation and justifications. The accusations you have received are that we are using special software and synchronizers to control our gameplay, which we are not. This information campaign against us started by our opponents in Division that are losing the season 3v1, and they need to find an explanation why we are so good and they are so bad comparatively. The same was last season when EIS players were losing the season. We want to state and confirm that NTS alliance is against cheating, against any software loopholes, and even using game bugs. Anything that can give us a side, give any side an illegal advantage. Therefore, we support all your initiatives against cheaters of any kind. I think that's an appropriate wording there. We invite you to investigate us, our players, and our alliance, and we are ready to show how we achieve and what we achieve in game to make all their alliances look pale with coordination. Okay, I mean, that's a little aggressive. Please come to our server current season and see how we play. Send a delegate or an investigator from your team. I'm just joking, but really. We can give you any rights to him or her and invite to our Discord server, and this person can first and observe that these are efforts of highly coordinated team that outshine anyone else in the game. We are an old community that came to COD as a team from other games, and we've honed these skills for many years. Thus, we created a game style which for others difficult to copy, as it needs discipline, good online, full trust of players, great war commanders. In Alliance, there are 155 players now, and online, during big battles, we have 120 to 130 online, and 100 plus of whom are in Discord voice channel. Using voice commands, markers, and strict adherence to commands from all players, we achieve what can look to an outsider as a machine-like reaction, but it's all human gameplay. Our opponents don't believe that it's possible, so please come and see for yourselves. In 2 days, on the 16th of August, which as of recording now is tomorrow, Final Zone opens because we are not using any software and plan to win this season. We will continue to fight in full strength. As a result, we do expect that there will be more complaints to you about NTS and more false allegations. This will continue as long as we are winning and others need to justify their loss. The only way to put an end to this is you, the game developers, do your due diligence, investigations, questions, observations, anything else that you deem necessary. We are open and have nothing to hide. After this is done, no one will have doubts that we are not cheaters, and you will stop reacting to false accusations in such a non-productive ways like you did now. While you are discussing this letter internally, we add this video clip taken from the live stream by one of the leaders where you can see how players are controlled by voice commands and markers in-game messages. We, of course, have more indeed. All is bilingual, as you will have full understanding of what is happening. Looking forward to your quick feedback on this topic and a nomination of a contact person at Lilith, or in this case, Farlight Games, to handle this request and make the proposed due diligence to acquit our name and reputation as a result. With full respect, NTS Server 49. Now, he does say this was from our R5. He didn't write this. He has his own thoughts. He says the final answer that I received from the devs is that after being mass reported by players from the opposing team, their system checked and detected abnormal behavior from our accounts, and they did a manual check, not sure what that means, sensing use of plugin software. They advised us to uninstall. Obviously, that's absolutely absurd and complete another witch hunt to appease the complainers. They have also now instituted a reporting system where players can report on each other for any reason and call it hacking or scripting. It is a typical, there's a little bit more said there. But what I will just say, again, right, so this is Diablo's response from the NTS group. Now, let's go and look at some images, but some VC here from NTS NTW while they were fighting, okay? So let me first and foremost point out this video clip, and I'll link to any videos that I've shown as well in the description, right, any resources that I can. And you'll see here that they're in VC. I was going to mute this for a sec. You can see they're in VC, right? And they're showing you all the people that are there, right? Now, obviously, I don't think we can see the number. That would have been cool if I could have, right? So, like, for example, if they would have moused over on this, then we could have seen what the number is. I don't think that they did that here in this situation. But you could see there's a lot of people that are in this VC. And so then let's go forward a little bit here, and maybe I will need to kind of do it like this. So now let's look at how are they positioning and kind of getting to where they are, right? So here we go. Oh, hang on. Let me make sure you guys can hear this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Открывайте. Join rallies.
All right, so you hear the countdown. People start moving. Okay.
МЗ, слышишь? И гамму я метку на тебя кинул, забери наверх. Ну, сверху, чтобы поворот был. И Максим, сдвинься чуть к середине, наверное, чтобы ты...
Вопрос насчет Исполина. Ты нашел, кто будет контролировать?
Да, Дрей.
You can see markers being used.
Guys, follow,
they said that.
Muk, Alpha and Gamma go to the top side. Alpha, Gamma наверх.
Talking about Alpha Gamma having different teams. This was also something that TFS did as well in the Tamara Season 1, right, where they kind of had like this North and South group when they were fighting on that river choke along the mountain range.
Gamma вниз. Prepare to reinforce. Alpha to the top. Alpha вверх. Готовим тоже крепить. Beta.
I see you hear the mention of reinforcing the top.
Beta also to the bottom.
Swarmer посередине. Who's swarming the gate? Follow the start.
Yeah.
Skadoosh this a little more forward here.
One more.
Okay, here we go. So now this is where you're going to see some movement as they work their way to the pass.
Go.
Closer. Start closer.
Now, what are we seeing? We're seeing delayed movement, right? It's not necessarily indicating any scripting. Typically, again, and I say that because you're seeing delayed movement, typically, again, even if you were multi-boxing, synchronizing, there is the chance you still could see some delay. Because it obviously would just depend on, and again, you can make the argument, right? Is there a ping? Would there even be a short delay? If one person is doing it, are all the accounts just operating on one, right? Will every account have the exact same reaction time? But I think this is kind of a normal delay that you see.
Focus opponents. Start focusing opponents.
So you see them kind of zoomed out, most likely doing what Mud is here.
Focus infantry.
So you see them all saying the focus infantry. Look how fast it gets melted.
One more.
Infantry. Focus infantry.
Right, look at everyone attacking. Right, gets focused, dies. You can see there before the reinforce is able to happen.
Бомбу дал. Еще
Focus.
Игнорим полностью зверя, вообще никто его не
Right,
видит.
once again, I mean, again, all you're really seeing here is just a lot of VC activity, a lot of structure, a lot of coordination there at the passes, and people listening to commands. Now, keep in mind, this is not open field. I'm going to show you guys something here in a sec. Right, but I just wanted to show that for a moment. So, there's another one I want to show now, where if we look at, this is from the stream after they pushed past the pass, no pun intended, and now they are moving in to the. And here we'll show you guys this here. Let me see. Let's go over here real quick. And okay, so I got the VC. Good. So let me show you. I got the volume on. Here we go.
Don't make a sausage, please.
Don't make a sausage, please.
Move, don't fight.
Right.
Start attacking
So
only destroyers.
There you go.
Атаковать начинаем только дестройеров.
Attack and destroyers.
Устроители убиваем.
Right. Look at how many are getting attacked. This is not out of the realm possibility that you might see some high numbers attacking destroyers, which was one of the images we showed earlier.
In 3, 2, 1, push 7 o'clock with the blinks. На 7 часов с блинков. 7 часов с блинков.
Right. So 6, 7. Right. So basically
Very
bottom
good,
left.
very good,
Also
very good.
blink on 6 o'clock. На 6 часов тоже блинкайтесь.
Right. I said push with the blinks. Look at all the blinks coming down for the infantry users. I mean, that just seems pretty coordinated to me.
Окей, remove your infantry. Возвращайте пехоту.
Right. Doing some CC.
Отправляем
A
разрушителей.
little dislodging, a little confusion. Right. You can see everyone kind of attacking the same clusters.
To the keep. Назад. Отходим
They did say
назад.
7 o'clock. To me, that's 7 o'clock.
Above the keep. Над крепостью, помните всегда. Чтобы не быть в ренже
Okay.
остальных
They
крепостей.
mentioned going above the keep.
So not to be under the attack of another keeps.
Right, so everyone's moving. Again, it just looks like good coordination.
Тоже на точке.
Пока что не рыпаемся, ралли сейчас мимо нас будет проходить. Чтоб не
We are not
вляпался.
moving because of the rally. We are not moving because of the rally.
Just meet them.
So you see
on
the rally there
6
coming
o'clock.
in.
Don't push, just meet. When they come to you, attack them. Просто стоим, как только они подходят, атаковать начинают, атакуем в ответ.
You see infantry unit comes in. Looks like he ends up dying. Again, everyone's following directions, right? Staying there, wait for them to come and then
Push in 5
attack.
seconds to the 6 o'clock.
So 6 is going to be south.
2,
South or here.
1, push.
6 часов атака.
Push.
Okay, I mean, I did see some delays
Push.
there. A few more delays now.
Blink.
Some more blinks coming down, you can see.
Как же
It's kind of cool.
хорошо
I've never
они
watched it
играют,
zoomed out like
господи.
this before.
Блять, это пиздец такой, это такой пиздец.
Как же они хороши. Окей,
Right, but they did say go 6. Where are all the lines going? They're going to 6. Right? And maybe they told people, hey, just focus the first unit that you can hit. Right? That's overextended for the direction we're going to push. That could be reasonable based on how it looks.
У кого-то остались блинки? Плюсик. Следи.
Так, бро, привет, короче, не было слышно, да? Я как его, все выключенный микрофон, оказывается, говорил. Короче, чтоб ты понимал.
All right, there you go. Everyone attacking the giant. Maybe they called that out. He did mute himself, so we can't hear anything right now on the VC.
Домой, вот, плотненько поработал.
Okay. So again, I'm not going to show everything, but I at least just wanted to show something. And now I think I will probably just give you my final thoughts, right, on how do things look right now to me. I will say that after seeing the images, after looking at a number of videos, and again, we didn't show every single video off, just for sake of not wanting to have this be incredibly long. What I will say is I am very much leaning now in a direction that I very much felt myself leaning in after I saw all the evidence that was provided from the TMTA side versus the GG with the accusations, is to me it feels that I am leaning more in the direction of NTS and NTW not doing anything wrong. Now, does that mean that there weren't maybe some instances that we saw that could raise some suspicion? Sure. Right? You could sell me on that. That there was at least a few situations we saw that were a little iffy. But when I look at everything holistically, and I would like to believe objectively, it doesn't appear to me that there's anything that is so overwhelming where there's a smoking gun in any kind of area and piece of material that we've seen that would very much indicate that there is a form of cheating that's happening. And also, I will, as a disclaimer, right, it's not like we looked at everything. But I would like to feel that we looked at enough to where anything that's been provided to me or anything that we've seen, it just doesn't feel to me that there is, like I said, anything that's overwhelmingly damning that is like, oh yeah, they definitively did that. Are there a couple questionable situations? Sure. That's my thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys think. For those of you that are still here, this is going to be part 1 of 2. I do have something else planned as well, so you guys can be on the lookout for that video whenever that may come out, hopefully within the week, as long as timings are down. But yeah, you guys let me know. Do you think NTS, NTW did anything here? Do you think after looking at everything, they didn't? Did you do other research on your own and maybe it led you to a conclusion? And then lastly, I'll just summarize with my hope is that everything is always being done above board, right? If the COD team comes out and they say, look, we're investigating, we're doing these things, I really want to believe that that's the case. I want to hope that there isn't this dangerous precedent that is kind of being consistently followed through on now, unfortunately, from what happened with the TATMGG situation, and that we are going to be bolstering some of these things, and that we're not being reactive when we're getting reports that are coming in, even if they are a lot that are coming in. I want to believe that what we heard from the COD team is going to be followed through on, and that they are applying some due diligence there when it comes to who they are banning. Because I think the most important thing is having a quality level of integrity and knowing that when a ban comes down, because it is serious and it should never be a laughing matter and it should never be something that's taken lightly, that it is deserved and justified because of the evidence in the investigation that was shown. And hopefully in those kinds of situations, at least for the people that are involved, not necessarily me or someone or anyone that's not involved, the people that are involved should hopefully at least be told a little bit more than kind of a broad, vague response, so they can feel a little bit more informed as what was found, what did they notice, what kind of third-party software was used, right? That, I think, that level of transparency would be lovely. So I hope that these will be steps that the COD team will take, and maybe the people that were involved will hear a little bit more from them. But at least my thoughts on the situation, I don't think that they did anything that would necessarily warrant a ban. But again, I'm not looking at every single player, and I also don't know the specific players that were that were banned where we were able to see their specific gameplay, right? I can only go off what objectively and at face value it looks like for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.